Twitch channel, and we are talking about Valentine's Day at the moment. So, yesterday I did the live to launch this whole series of 14 days of lives on working on different things for Valentine's Day. But this year I'm not doing Valentine's Day. Sadly, don't know what I did, but deleted that live stream. So I thought I'll quickly do a quick one this morning, even if nobody comes, just so I can upload it so that everybody knows what it's about. So I went and I did some research. And I first Googled stuff and didn't like what they were telling me. So then I went into my Copilot, didn't like what they were telling me. So in the end, I took everybody's stuff and I put it all together. Because my question was, what is Valentine's Day? I am sure it is not let me just sort this cat out. Stop it. Stop it. There is food. Go see. There's food. Eat your food. Stop moaning. He has been such a pain this morning. He wants me to go and sit with him and scratch his ears. Oh my goodness. You know what? That I get any work done in this crazy house is actually amazing. So let's get back to Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day actually started about 300 after Christ. And what the story is that Roman Emperor Claudius II, around 270 after Christ, didn't allow people to get married, especially young soldiers, because he said they fight better in the wars if they are not married. So there was a priest named Valentine, and apparently he started marrying them in secret. So that is the one part. And afterwards, he was actually martyred for that and killed by this emperor. But while he was in jail, he fell in love with the jailer's daughter, is the one story. The other story is he healed her and he wrote her a handwritten note saying, "From your Valentine." And so that is where people start writing your Valentine at the bottom of the cards. But then with that, there was the Roman festival called, let me just get the name, Lupercalia, Lupercalia, yes. And that was usually around mid-February, and it involved rituals promoting fertility and pairing men and women by lottery. So later on, Pope Gelasius I replaced Lupercalia with St. Valentine's Day to Christianize this celebration, and the day was fixed on the 14th of February. So for me, I've always felt off with this whole thing of just there is a place of celebrating your love, but I feel like that's where wedding anniversaries and stuff come in. So I've never really been a fan of Valentine's Day. I think in my life I've got one card. Maybe that's part of the reason, but I've also, in the times when I was in relationships, I wasn't really big on that. It was nice if I got a chocolate, but if I didn't, it was also okay. So that brings us to today. Now, Grace actually was on yesterday's. Grace from So Lovely with Grace. She was on yesterday's one. And she said that she started Valentine's Day, where it's on the 13th of February, and then it's a celebration with her friends, all her girlfriends. So I've decided, but beforehand, I've decided that I'm going to do 14 days where we are going to look at what it really means. So for me, there's that scripture in the Bible that says, you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And lately I've realized in quite a few places that I haven't been very kind to myself. And there's different reasons, feeling overwhelmed and all the rest. But I've really started doing things, having dates with myself. Hi, Peppy. Preppy Parker and Walter Miller. Hello, guys. Nice to see you here. So the first thing I started doing is having dates with myself, because I realized that if you have a date with a partner, it's that thing of celebrating each other. And I've stopped celebrating me. I don't hate myself, but I also don't always like myself. So I've really been working on that. And one of the things that it brought me was that for these 14 days, I'm going to have. Oh, thank you, Walter Miller. I appreciate that. I've I am good. Thank you, Preppy. But what I've realized was that this is a sewing channel. For those of you who don't know, I see there's quite a few new people. And I did it this time of the morning. Usually I do it at night, but I've got some followers in Australia, and I thought maybe you guys can actually meet with me at this time. So the one thing I'm going to do in these 14 days of sewing is I need some pillowcases. Now, I don't have hair, as you can see. My hair fell out because of alopecia. And because of that, after I think I was 17 when it started before that, but at 17 I was totally bald. And so I've tried wearing wigs, but I've got quite a lot of tactile intolerances and stuff. So I've stopped. Now I've just embraced it, and this is who I am, and I'm happy with it. But when I sleep, because I don't have hair, my pillowcases get really horrible. They get oily because of, your head does secrete oil. And so I'm going to make myself some pillowcases as something of self care to myself. And then through these 14 days of lives every day, I am also going to make stuff for the picnic that I'm going to have. No, this is not about religion. I just spoke about where I'm coming from. This is about where did Valentine's Day come from. I'm a sewing channel at Kioli Balusha, I think it says. Uh, Oh, Preppy, I'm sorry your friends gossip. But you know what? This is actually one thing that I've realized is I actually had a thing this morning. So I've invited a friend for coffee a while ago. She never answered. Then I sent her a message. She never answered. Then I phoned her. She never answered. And I just thought she was busy or whatever. Sometimes her phone gives problems. And this morning I messaged her on something else that we all in a group chat. And she answered immediately. And I felt so rejected and so like, oh, okay, so I'm not good enough anymore. And I've realized I was sitting there and I had this moment of feeling like that. And then I realized, you know what? It's their loss. So people can gossip. In the end, gossip can't really hurt you. I know there's a thing that says sticks and stones can hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. And there is a place for that. There's a place of being accountable and being teachable, but there's also a place of realizing what's your worth. And that is something that I've been working on lately. Is what is my worth? My worth is not in how my friends treat me. Because the reality is, if I treat myself badly, and if you treat yourself badly, your friends are going to take a cue out of your book, and they're going to treat you the same way. So that is part of the process um, of this whole 14 days of lives for Valentine's. Is to find that place of appreciating. Firstly, I can't be a good friend to others if I'm not a good friend to myself. So, the first thing I've started doing is having morning coffee with myself. Before I interact with anybody else, I sit down and I have time just checking in. How am I feeling today? What is the things that's bothering me? And then just working through those things. So, back to these 14 days of Valentine's preparations for having a picnic with my friends is I sat yesterday afternoon and I cut out these hearts and I'm going to fill them with lavender. Because as I said before, this is actually a sewing channel where I sometimes speak about mental life. And I have these green ribbons, so I'm going to sew this together, put a ribbon, and then all my friends can use it, maybe hanging it in their closets or whatever. So that is the first thing that I'm starting to do is making little gifts for my friends because my love language is to do gift giving. But what I've also realized in the last few years is sometimes I tried to use gift giving to validate myself. Oh, thank you so much, Bust Travel Adventures. I appreciate that. And so to validate myself or to get my identity for different reasons. And I had to sit down and thought, originally I had all these grand plans. Oh, we're going to do this and that. And it would cost me a fortune. And in the end, I realized it's not about the big things. It's about those small little things that says, I'm thinking about you. And yes, this is this 14 days is about spending time with friends and whatever, but it is also about just remembering what is really what is the things that really matters. So, yes, I want all my friends to know that they matter. And when they open their wardrobe and they find their little heart hanging there or between their stuff, I hope it reminds them that I'm thinking of them and that they are valuable. But then we're also going to have a picnic, and with the picnic, it's outside. There's a park close by, which is really beautiful with like walkways and there's trees, and then there's open fields. Now, it's Cape Town at the moment. I'm from Cape Town is really in summer, and summer we don't get rain. So that means that it is quite dry at the moment, and the grass is not very green. But next to the rivers, it's just an hour. I never go over an hour. So we're going to be done in 50 minutes actually. If I look at this, it's 10 minutes in. So yes, Preppy, you will be fine it will be done in an hour. So in this park, there is this beautiful, like, river, small little river that runs through it, and there's green grass where the river is. And so I'm going to go to the park. There's like lots of trees, and then I'm going to make little flags, bunting, this and with this in between, and I'm going to have like parcels for everybody with their picnic stuff in. But what I want to use these 14 days for is to just prepare for that. But while I do that, also to do things that feeds my soul. Because sometimes what I've realized is we get so busy looking after everybody else, and we forget about what is the things that feeds us. What feeds your soul? What feeds your heart? What is the thing that gives you energy? By the end of it, you walk out and Dwita Queen. Oh, okay. Welcome, Dwita Queen. I just see now there's some. Okay, I've answered everything. Um, yes, all of them are. So sometimes we are so busy with looking after all the people around us that we forget about the things that's needed. So the reality is, if you have a jug of water, you can't fetch one quickly. I have a jug of water here. Now, if my jug is not full, I can't give anybody else water. And water is life giving. So you want to give water to other people. And that is the same with friendship and with interaction. You can't really give other people the interaction and the love they need if you can't fill up your own thing. So in these 14 days, I want to do things that will fill me up. One of the things that I've realized that really fill me up is good music. So I am going to make myself a playlist and just with music that I love and what I can listen to, because I've used to do that all the time and I stopped. I think it's because we don't have, I'm from the stage where we still taped from the radio. You would sit there with your double tape, and then on the radio, if the music came up, you would press the button, and then you would make like mixtapes. And I used to love doing that. Now our modern version is more like not mixtapes. What do they call that? You go on Spotify and you have a playlist on there. And I understand that that also works, but there was something about having this tape that you made, and then you wrote all the things on the tape, and then afterwards listening to the music and remembering why this song was so important. It was this place and that place. And I'm so sad that it's like we've lost that. It's not really available to people anymore. But that's another tangent. So anyway, I'm gonna make myself a mixtape, but I'm gonna make it with a playlist, and which I can listen to when I walk or when I just sit here and work. Because I found that I stopped listening to music because it is to go into your tape and to go and find your or not your tape, your playlist. And Spotify sometimes makes it really difficult. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like it. It's difficult to get in, and yeah, I just don't enjoy it. And I've tried a few other streaming platforms, and also not very user friendly, if you can put it like that. So that's one thing I'm going to do. Another thing I want to do in this 14 days of embracing love is to take myself on more walks, nature walks. Now, I live not too far from the coast, from the sea, and I love walking next to the sea, but I also love walking in forests. So I want to go for more forest walks. And there's some beautiful places around here. Like if you go to Table Mountain, there's Lion's Head that you can climb out, and there's a few places. So I really want to actually see what walks are there in my area and go and do them. And then I also want to join, but I don't know if I'm going to have time in this time, is to join some groups, like a knitting group because I love knitting, or maybe maybe there's a poetry group that gets together. Not that I'm very good in poetry, but it's a different type of person. Or I could even join a choir. I like to sing. My voice is not bad. It's not. I will never be a soloist, but in a choir, I do quite well. So maybe I must find myself a choir to join so that I can meet new people. Because that's the other thing that I've realized is after this thing this morning where I told you about the friend who I thought we are good friends and she just never answers my messages. And then I realized that, oh, she actually is ghosting me, which doesn't, I don't always catch on that because I'm sometimes a bit clueless. But yes, find new friends. And that's the thing, which I also want to talk about is like, there's so many people out there who is really lonely and you are looking for friends. And I think it's the season, Valentine is the season to go and find a new person to add to your friend list. For no other reason, just because you want more people in your life. I've also realized that I became quite selfish with my life. I've got a stunning neighbor. She is so cute. And she's been asking me to go for a walk. And I've just not done it because I'm busy. And that's also not a reason. You know, sometimes we are so busy with what we are doing that we forget that there are people out there and it's actually nice to spend time with them. So anyway, I think I'm going to stop here because I need to go. I've got a next appointment. I know I said we're going to do an hour, but if you want to do the hour session, I will get together again this afternoon. South African time, it is 6 o'clock. That means it's 4 o'clock in England, and I'm not sure America, it's in the morning. So if you want to join this evening, you are more than welcome. And yes, I'm going to leave you at that. I just wanted to quickly put this together. Like I said, my previous live stream got lost in translation, basically. And I just want everybody to know what this series is about. Okay. Thanks for watching and thank you for spending time here with me. It's always lovely chatting to you. Bye.